Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to go through the Forex market wrap. We're just going to go through our Blueberry Jam trades for this week, how we can manage those positions and what we can do next. So CAD Yen actually hit targets overnight, so we can see that the price, our trade was literally here. We can see that we shorted this candlestick here, placed our stop losses above the highs, targeted this high through there. Market came through, hit our 2-to-1 targets really nicely, so there's nothing really to do here. We did look for this position anyway because or we looked at this position in the first place because price was reacting from a big level. It was pretty much just a technical trade. Price came up into those those weekly highs. The daily chart rejected it. We were in that overbought condition. We had a nice bearish candlestick. We shorted it to an area where we expected buyers to come back into the market, which they look to be doing at the moment. So that was a great trade through there. The other trades that we're in were in Euro Oz, and obviously the market is pushing back to the downside, but trend has changed on the 4-hour. Now, what we can do, because it is Friday, and what we are expecting is the market to pull back into this zone here to then go long again. So what we can actually do is bank the profits, okay, because it is Friday, so just close the position. Okay, and what we can actually do is wait for Monday. So on Monday, when price, or if price pulls back into this zone, we could look for another trade on Monday. So we just bank small profits through there, because obviously we don't want to be leaving too many trades on over the weekend, just in case there's any big news announcements. But what we want to be looking for on Monday then is a pullback into this buy zone to look for long positions through there. So a bit of profit banked on Euro Oz. Same for Pound Oz. Pound Oz is back at this level. Of course, as well, it's completely up to you how you manage your positions, but this is how we're going to be doing this. Pound Oz, trend is starting to form on that 4-hour nicely. Price is pulling back into this previous structure high. This is where we'd be looking for a change in cycle on that 15-minute time frame to go long. So if you just look at that 15-minute time frame, you can probably see that price is starting to push to the upside, and if we break this high here on the 15-minute time frame, we could start seeing that trend back to the upside on Pound Oz. So again, completely up to you how you manage this position, but what we could be looking for is a position on Monday to go long again on Pound Oz. So I'm actually going to bring in and close this position as well for some more profit, and then we're going to dive into dollar CAD. And dollar CAD again pushing to the upside. It's starting to pull back a little bit, but we're expecting a retracement into either this previous structure point through here, or where the red line is, that previous 4-hour high. So again, you could look for that on Monday. So if price pulls back into here and starts to bounce, that's great. If the market pulls back into our red line area, or even our entry, and starts to bounce, then great. But what we can look to do is bank the profits and then add another position. We're over a 1-to-1 at the moment. Might as well bank this, wait for another position to go long into that same area. So again, just going to close this out for another bit of profit. So ended up with around about 163 pips on that dollar CAD trade. CAD Yen trade, we ended up with about 230 pips. Euro Oz, we just banked some small amount of pips, so around about 116 pips, and Pound Aussie we banked 105 pips. Okay, so all in all, very successful week for the Blueberry Jam, and this is all down to the strength and weakness table analysis and waiting for that 4-hour time frame to change cycle, and waiting for that 4-hour to really start lining up. Once we've got that 4-hour trend in play, then we look to buy the market. So ideally what we want to see is price pull back into these 4-hour areas and then change cycle. So there's a really good example here on Pound Oz. You know, price broke to the upside, it pulled back into an area of support. We look to buy it, but if we actually take a look at these two swings through here, so I'll change the color of the next trend line, but if we put the trend line here and we just make this a light blue color, for instance, what I'm going to show you is the trend once we start seeing those impulse moves. So if I actually go down to a 15-minute time frame, and this is what I mean when I say that the change in trend, you can see that price, once we start pulling back on that 4 hour, we start getting those bearish candlesticks, you can see that the trend is lower on the 15-minute. We get lower lows and lower highs. Once that change in trend forms, so we get a little bit of an indication here that the trend is changing because we get a higher low. The market then breaks to the upside. We're now starting to get higher highs on that 15-minute time frame. This is a great indication that the trend is going to continue up, and you can see higher highs. Market pulls back a little bit there, just retesting that zone through here. Market then continues to form higher highs. And that's what we want to see. We want to see those time frames really matching up through there. So you can then look at the current position here. Now, if the market changes cycle again, so what we might see is a head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern in here. Or we may just see a complete change in cycle where the market will break to the upside. If it does and that trend continues again, you expect to see another 4 hour impulse move, okay? So what you want to be doing is looking for those changing cycles on those lower time frames as well, just to agree with your positioning, okay? So keep an eye on Pound Aussie. Again, on Monday is going to be the best day. It's Friday. We do usually see a few pullbacks on Friday, so yeah, it's going to be one to watch going into next week. The same with Euro Oz as well. If I highlight again the impulse move and I highlight the pullback through here, we'll see that change in cyclicity on those 15-minute time frames. So if I just zoom back out, you can see market is making that trend to the downside. As soon as we break out of that trend through here, so that's a previous high, market breaks trend higher high, boom, look at that. Market starts making those higher highs until it changes. We're breaking through new lows now. Market's now in that pullback phase. Where do we expect that pullback phase to continue to? This zone here, where we're going to be looking for that change in cycle again. Okay, so keep an eye out for those, and we've had some key levels obviously being hit. We do have an open position on Aussie US dollar. You can leave that in if you wish, in terms of if you want to see it trigger by the end of today, or what we can do is cancel this order and replace it again on Monday. So depends what you want to do. I'm going to leave this open. We had quite a bit of profit, so we'll see if it can trigger by the end of today. So thanks for watching the videos this week. If you did enjoy the content, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you next week. Cheers.